welcome to my energy break number 9. I don't quite know how we're on number 9 already. So we're going to wait for another minute until it is actually 11 and then we'll get going. I've got a couple of exercises and nice stretches for you today. Really simple stuff that you can do from wherever you are, wearing whatever you're wearing, so no kind of equipment or leggings required unless you're wearing them already, and then of course that's super. And we will get going in just a few moments. If you are coming in on Facebook, you can leave me a comment. If you're coming in on Instagram, you can send me a little waving hand. Please work at your own level today, so obviously I'm not there and can't see what you're doing, so just take things nice and steady. If something doesn't feel right, cut it out. If it feels a bit hard, maybe just reduce the reps or have a little break if you need it at any point. And we will get going now. Okay, so first exercise, we're going to come on to our backs. And we're going to think about our setup first. So making sure your feet are hip distance apart. Your knees, hips and feet are in alignment. Toes are facing forward. Core engaged. So you're going to think about pulling your belly button towards your spine, drawing your ribs down towards your hips. So feel like you're pulling your ribs towards your hips, trying to make that gap smaller. And then under your low back, there should just be a little gap, keeping that gap there for me. Arms are just coming out to the side. You can come palm up if you want to, if that stops you from pushing your hands into the ground. Core on, and then you're just going to slowly move your right knee out to the side. Everything else stays nice and still. Hold it here for an inhale, and then exhale. Slowly bring it back to the middle, holding in the middle for an inhale, and exhale. Slowly take your left knee out to the left side. And just check in with your pelvis. So make sure you haven't rolled your pelvis with your leg. So you're just moving your leg in your hip joint, keeping your pelvis glued to the floor. Slowly bring it back to the middle. If you want to, you can close your eyes. Core engaged. So you're just rolling your foot and knee out to the side. So your foot can go onto the outside, knees rolling out, but everything else stays in contact with the ground. Keep thinking belly button to spine. So pulling your belly button towards your spine, ribs down towards your hips. And we're going to do 3 more on each side. If you want to add in the breathing, thinking about exhaling as you move. Inhale and pause. Exhale, move. Inhale, pause. Exhale, move. Inhale, pause. Exhale, move. Inhale, pause. Going to do 1 more on each side. Keep thinking belly button to spine. You really use those core muscles to keep stabilizing your upper body, or your whole body really. Everything's in touch with the ground. Final time. Letting that knee fall out to the side and then bringing it back to the middle. Okay. From here, you're going to hug 1 knee in and 2 knees in to your chest and just rock from side to side. So just a nice little back massage. And then come back to the middle. You can bring your head, neck and shoulders off the floor if you want to, or you can keep your head down and then core engaged. We're going to just move your knees in a nice circle. So just as far as you can without pushing your back into the floor. So that little gap remains under your low back, so your pelvis stays in its neutral position. You're just rolling your knees around, so just opening up, just kind of massaging into those hips really. Changing direction. Thinking belly button to spine. Make sure your chin stays tucked so you're not putting any pressure on your neck. Remember, you can bring your head, neck and shoulders down to the floor at any point. Changing direction again. Thinking belly button to spine, keeping that little gap under your low back. Changing direction for the final time. back to the mat. Core engaged, you're going to take one leg out along the floor. You're going to bring your other leg up on top. Left hand is going to come out to the side, and then you're going to guide your left leg over to the right hand side of your body, holding it there. So don't worry about where you can get to, just holding it when you feel like that's kind of your maximum. Holding it there, don't bounce on it. I'm just going to hold it here for 30 seconds. And coming back to the middle, taking your left leg out long, right leg comes up, right arm out to the side, left arm just guides that leg over to the left hand side, holding it there, just breathing into that stretch. And then bringing that leg back, bringing both legs to the floor, or both feet to the floor. You're going to bring your feet and knees together. Arms are coming out to the sides again, or if you want to make it more challenging, you can bring both arms up into the air. And then from here, you're going to just take your knees over to the left hand side, making sure your shoulder blades stay on the floor. So your hip can move, but your shoulder blade must stay in contact with the mat. Core on, belly button to spine, back to the middle. Other side. Holding it here, think belly button to spine, and then bringing yourself back to the middle. So only rotate as far as you can without losing contact with the floor through your shoulders. Keep those shoulders on the floor. Belly button to spine. Remember, you can take your arms down at any point. We're starting to work into those obliques with this one, holding it at the side. And then bringing your legs back to the middle, using those core muscles, doing really well. We're going to do 2 more to each side. So final 1 to each side. Final 1. And then coming to your neutral position, so feet are coming to hip distance apart, core engaged, take an inhale, and then exhale, tuck your chin and see if you can roll yourself back up to sitting. Don't worry if you can't, just have a go for me. We're going to come into a stretch. So you're coming to sitting, going to bring your right leg out to the side, left foot is just resting on the inside of your leg. You're going to place your right hand underneath your right leg. You're going to open up your chest, so think about moving your left shoulder so it's in line with your left hip, and then you're going to bring your left arm up and over the top, stretching out through that QL and also potentially through that hamstring as well, holding it there. And then coming back up, taking the other leg out, bringing your right foot now so it's on your left leg, placing your left hand under your left leg, opening up through your chest, so moving your right shoulder backwards and then slowly bringing that arm up and over, holding it there. And then coming back to the top and coming into a 4-point kneeling position now. So coming onto your hands and knees, making sure your wrist is under your shoulder, knee is under your hip, tilting that pelvis so your tailbone is pointing towards whatever is behind you, keeping that core engaged. So think belly button to spine, rib to hip connection. Tailbone pointing behind you, eye line pointing down in front of you. From here, core on, we're going to take an inhale. Then exhale and take your right arm through the gap between your left arm and leg, stretching out through that arm. Make sure you haven't moved your hips backwards. Hold for an inhale. And then exhale, bringing that arm back down, holding in the middle for an inhale. Exhale, other side, through the gap. So this is threading the needle. It's a really nice spinal mobility exercise. Holding for an inhale at the middle, and then exhale, stretching through to the other side. Think core on. It's a nice slow controlled move, taking an inhale and exhale, back. 2 more to each side. Keep that core engaged for me. Make sure you haven't moved your hips backwards, so just double check your hips over your knees, and when you put your hand down, just check that it's coming down underneath your wrist. Holding at the side for an inhale, this is our final one. Exhale, coming back. Then from here, you're going to take your your left leg through the gap between your right arm and leg. Put the weight into your hands and find your way to your bum. Crossing your legs or bringing your legs into diamond, whatever is more comfortable. Right hand to your left knee, left hand behind you, and just rotating to the side, holding it there for me. And then other side, so left hand to right knee, looking to the right, holding it there. And then back to the front. Well done. I'm going to leave it there for today. That was my energy break number 9. Join me next Wednesday at 11 for number 10. I'm also going to be releasing on Monday my 25 days of Christmas Advent Challenge, which is just healthy things that you can do every day just to make you feel better and to lead a slightly healthier lifestyle as we run up to the big day. I hope you really enjoyed today. Take care, look after yourselves, and I will see you next week. Bye!